Hey everyone, it's been a very long time since I made a video, and that is my bad. Very sorry about that. So let's rip into it. Today we're going to be looking at the Truthear Zero in-ear monitors with the Virgo display stand. Now before I get started, if you've seen any of my other in-ear monitor reviews, it's safe to say that almost any earphone can be potentially used as an in-ear monitor to be used with a wireless transmitter and receiver. I have tested all of mine with a live band over and over again and found that anything from around $50 US and up, and from the chi-fi market, is still usable. The whole purpose of this channel is to review gear for musicians who are a bit on a budget and need something to get the job done. If you're worried about the EQ tuning and the sound of the earphones, well, if you have the option on your mixer, you can always adjust certain frequencies and EQ your mix before your performance and do it to your preference. For example, if you need more bass, just dial up the low frequencies a few decibels. If the highs are sounding harsh, dial those frequencies down. If you're worried about noise isolation, then invest in some foam ear tips. Some earphones will do better than others, so if you can spend a bit more, go for it. Otherwise, $50 US and up is a good starting point. With that said, this will potentially be my last review just for in-ear monitors. Now, let's get started with the Zero earphones. A reasonably new earphone on the market from Truthear and a collab with Critical, the Zero earphones are dual dynamic drivers sporting a 10mm and 7.8mm speaker in each ear. What makes this unique is that it also comes with a true crossover circuitry, which I'll explain a little bit later. I'm no audiophile enthusiast, I just like a good sound. And I also like what works and what sounds good for what I need and to get the job done. Everyone has a preference too, so reviewing my experience with earphones will always be different to someone else. If you are interested in more technical aspects of earphones, I highly recommend you check out other YouTube channels such as Critical, which I'll put the link in the description. The box has some cool artwork on the sleeve, and the main box has a simple, sleek look to it. Inside the box, you'll be greeted by the same artwork as the sleeve, which houses all the manuals and product information. Next, you'll have the earphones displayed and a fake leather pouch. From a distance, the earphones have a nice blue glow and shimmer, but upon looking closely, these earphones are actually quite beautiful, showcasing some sparkle and a distinctive feather design pattern. Inside the pouch, you'll find the detachable cable, and underneath the pouch you'll also find 6 pairs of silicone ear tips, plus an additional pair of foam ear tips. I prefer the foam ear tips just because I like to isolate outside noise, protect my ears, and get a stable in-ear monitor mix from my sound engineer. You can buy these earphones from AliExpress for around $44 US, but for an extra few dollars, you can also get the Virgo stand, which you can put your earphones on. But mine just got tangled, so it was easier just placing the earphones in the pouch. Although, if you weren't going to use the earphones often, the stand does look very nice and provides a cool backdrop for your earphones to rest on. The earphones and the Virgo display stand combined cost me around $50 US. The cable is oxygen-free silver-plated cable with an L-shaped 3.5mm connector on one end, feeding into a nice braided length, which splits into the left and right connectors. Each of the ear hooks has a left and right indicator, as well as the earphones, so that you don't plug them in incorrectly. Like I said earlier, the carry pouch is made from a fake leather type material. It's a nice touch to the overall product and a nice gesture from Truthear, but to keep the earphones safe, you would definitely want to invest in a better and more sturdy carry case. But still, it holds the cables and the earphones quite well and snug. The earphones have a slightly translucent housing. They have a beautiful design on the front showcasing sparkly feather wings, which you can see much clearly up close. But even from a distance, the blue color looks pretty cool, and if you catch it in just the right light, they do tend to shimmer, which is very eye-catching. Most earphones with 2 or 3 dynamic drivers often produce a full range frequency with all the drivers housed inside. What makes the Zero a unique in-ear monitor is that the larger 10mm speaker is designed to act solely as a subwoofer rather than a full range driver, thanks to the true crossover circuitry. The overall sound impression I got from these was actually more of a flat, balanced sound, although some clarity in the mids and the highs weren't as crisp as I would have liked them to be. A simple fix for this was to just ask my sound guy to bump up the mids and highs, and I was pretty happy with that. The earphones fit really snug in my ears and feel smooth and light. They are probably my favorite fitting earphones that I currently own. But the only thing I didn't like with comfort was the ear hooks, which didn't seem to wrap around my ears very well, and they often didn't bend into shape as I needed them to. A bit of fiddling around and they eventually latched around. Overall thoughts, the clarity isn't as crisp as I would like it to have been. I've had some other earphones with a more crisp sound compared to these. From what I've read and observed, these earphones are supposed to have a flat balanced sound, which may be a letdown for some people. If you're looking for bass heavy earphones, I don't think this is what you're after, despite the earphone having a crossover circuitry exclusively for the larger 10mm drivers. I actually thought the bass would have been punchier, but there is a silver lining to this. If you're unhappy with the sound of it, try adjusting the EQ from the mixer and you'll get some surprisingly good results. Not the best, but good enough. Aside from that, they feel great to wear, very smooth feeling, lots of ear tips to choose from, and a beautiful design, both packaging and the earphones itself. So that's it for Truthear Zero earphones and earphones in general. As I said before, I won't be reviewing any more earphones, not for a while at least. If you spend at least $50 US and up, you can use earphones for onstage live music monitoring with your band. And I also recommend using foam ear tips to stop the onstage noise bleed, unless you want that of course. If you have a little bit of extra money and you want to go all out, go spend a whole heap of money on your earphones. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But this channel is banned on a budget, so if you're a little short on cash, you don't always need the most expensive gear to get the job done. Thanks for watching everyone, I'll see you next time.